Yo, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're going to be talking all about one thing in this video, and that is t-shirts. I just thought to myself that it would be a great idea to talk about just t-shirts because I feel like that's what everyone has been thinking about, like recently, because it's like getting so hot like all around Asia, especially in Japan. The past few days have been like really a transition between spring to like summer, and I feel like this is like really the season for t-shirts and stuff. So I just thought about like to make a video since I've been collecting a lot of t-shirts too, and a lot of people be telling me how like t-shirts all look the same, black t-shirts is all look the same, and it absolutely does not look the same. There's so many like different fits to it, and there's different fits, and like they can all fit into like your style, if that makes any sense. Like there's fits that is like really thin t-shirt, there's like wide t-shirt, there's like just fit t-shirt, there's like tight t-shirts, and they're all like slightly different, like they're never the same. And just trying to make this video about like how to like style t-shirts, and if the video is too short, I'm adding like a few other stuff about like accessories and stuff, just about like how I'm trying to dress this summer and kind of like to share with y'all. So without further ado, let's get right into today's video: how to style t-shirts. Alright guys, so to start with, the first category of t-shirts, which is one of my favorites, is the Rick t-shirts. And Rick t-shirts, there are two main categories. One is the graphic t-shirts like these are from around 2008 2007. So these is one category, and the other category is like the plain t-shirts, which I'm not going to show you guys because it's like more regular, and you can even like arguably find it like still like nowadays on Essence and stuff. They still make like those t-shirts. One thing about like the old Rick Owens t-shirt that you cannot replace, first obviously, is the graphic from the past. Like these, it says, "Leave them only their eyes to weep with ... deep." And this one, it actually doesn't really say anything. It just says the collection spring summer 2008. But this is one of like the differences. The second difference is, as you can tell, also in like these two old t-shirts, this is more like a regular cotton fabric, and this is a really sheer fabric. This is like one of those like vintage tees where you like wash it so fucking much that it's basically almost transparent. A lot of them like rip and have like small holes in it, but I feel like it just gives it personality. So I feel like these are like two types of like different t-shirts, and these are like all in like the old Rick category, which is like the category that I personally like. And I have a few more, I'm gonna pull them out. They're on like the rack. This is old Rick t-shirt, but this is without graphic. So this is a good example. This like I wear every summer. Super thin fabric, really like breathable. This is really nice. And then these are also the old Rick t-shirt. This is from spring summer 2008, which is also pretty fire. This is a slightly different silhouette again. This is like a more slim and longer silhouette, which personally is not my favorite. I like the really thin fabric ones that are like not too long. But arguably, like Rick Owens said in like interview back then, is that all of him and his friends, they like to just cut them clothes themselves. They fit themselves. For example, if it's too long, like they'll just cut it. For like the sleeve is like too long, they'll just cut it, which is a big difference from like what Rick Owens makes now. But I think that's the humanity and like the DIY aspect that I really like about t-shirts. There's a few more that I've bought over, and they're on the rack. First one, this one I think is from 2015. Again, like it's not my favorite silhouette just because the fit is really interesting. It's like a different cut, but it's a bit too long, so like not exactly my favorite. And this one is with a gradient, like it's like a mist color, and this also from the past, I think around 2007 and stuff. Again, you find small holes in it, but I feel like if you're wearing like an old Rick t-shirt from more than 10 years ago, you might as well expect them to have holes because they're literally from more than 10 years ago. So this is the first category. This is the Rick Owens category, which comes with a variety of t-shirt, but like they're all super nice. And I've been talking about this, I think, since the COVID times. And then back then, like these t-shirts are so affordable. Like, and I have like more back home. I'm just in my office right now. I didn't bring like all of the stuff. Matter of fact, I was trying to show you guys some Rick Owens hoodies from like around 2007. Again, they are like with graphic and like really interesting sentences, but they're like on hoodie, and I have two of them. I have like the black one and I have the gray one. Something I feel like super interesting about them is that their zip is actually a little bit like asymmetrical, but like really slightly. Like it will almost, if someone doesn't know like Rick Owens, they'll think that, oh, like this is actually made bad, it's not made well. But I think like that's also like a part of the magic in it. But that era of the Rick, I think it's like really goated in my personal opinion. And that's also where like my, my jacket, F1 jacket, yeah, that's where my F1 jacket came from, basically. So that's with the Rick Owens t-shirt, and let's head into some of the next few t-shirts that I'll wear for the summer. Okay, so these are some next t-shirts that I have on me, and for me, like they're a completely different category of t-shirts, and I'll break them down one by one. First is this Radoku 25th anniversary, like a souvenir t-shirt. It just says like the logo, has like a small 25th anniversary logo in the back. Pretty big fan of the band in a sense. They're like classic. I mean, everyone I think grew up in Asia more or less listened to them like growing up, and they're also like style icons and stuff. So I was wearing their stuff, you know, in a recent fit pic post, and I haven't done like a fit pic post in like the longest time, but it feels good to go back to it because I feel like there's no one's doing it anymore. So it became fun again when no one's doing it anymore. But anyways, so this t-shirt is one of those like very tight fit in t-shirts. It's like just fit. It is the same fit as the undercover tee that I have from the 2006 spring summer collection, literally called tee. And for me, band tees type of stuff, I want them to fit like just right because they usually do have graphic on them, and I feel like for graphics it can be like tricky sometimes. Really, when it's too wide you feel like a little bit like too hip-hop, which is kind of like not my vibe, my personal type of vibe to go to. So like for these, it's important that it's a tight fit, and the sleeves never too long, you know, like it has to be almost like just right. And then the other category of t-shirts, which you can take it as like Polo's self-promotion, but this is a new Troubled Waters raglan t-shirt. This is like one of those slightly thicker fabric t-shirts. It's like a jersey fabric, but you can imagine it as like a cut off jersey, if that makes any sense. I actually, have I named it? I'm not sure if I've named it, to be honest. This is like the unnamed t-shirt. We should just call it that, the unnamed t-shirt. But this is like a raglan, you know, like long sleeve, just cut off the sleeves, and like a lot of shotgun bullet holes like all over it. This type of t-shirt, I think I also wear in my post about my new office. This is again like a different type of t-shirt. These type of t-shirts usually like more cropped, a little bit like wider on the top. I personally usually like to wear with like a long sleeve inside. I usually like to go with the stretch long sleeve. Actually, the stretch long sleeve arguably just goes with all the t-shirts, and that's the reason why I made it. And like on the hem, it's so distressed, so it has like a really cool look to it. But yeah, that's my favorite thing. Personally, I have 3, all in size small, because I kind of just wear it every day. Like even during the winter, I will style that with a t-shirt outside. And speaking of the Troubled Water t-shirts, the one I'm wearing right now is also a new Troubled Waters t-shirt. You cannot really see it as like I'm just wearing it, but it's very simple. It's like a plain t-shirt. It has the shoulder patches, much like an old military t-shirt. And then like underneath, we have some distressed parts of it, like these small holes that really imitates the very authentic vintage tee with and stuff. And then last but not least, t-shirt that I have here is this one. I'm styling it overlay right now, but this is not a Rick Owens t-shirt. It's a t-shirt from the brand called Rowan, and this is honestly a really oversized t-shirt. It's like patchwork, black on black, of the Rowan skull, which I think it's super fucking cool. And then also on the back, it has patches on it, but like really subtle. It's like oversized. For these, you know, like if it's already long, make it longer, you know. That's kind of like the idea to go to, like when you style like oversized t-shirt, make it like even more exaggerated, more longer, with like a sheer long sleeve inside and wide pants, maybe like drop crop. And I think that's a super fucking sick look, you know. There's small t-shirts that I feel like is really fire. There's really wide t-shirts, there's crop t-shirts, there's thin t-shirts like the early Rick Owens t-shirt, and there's like thicker t-shirts like our unnamed Troubled Waters tee. That's kind of like a variation of t-shirts. So stop saying that like t-shirts black, like it all looks the same. It, like literally for me, it looks so much different. All of them are so special. And speaking of t-shirts, there's also I think other styling tips that I can share with y'all when it comes to like the rest of the stuff. You know, like you have t-shirts, and what else you have like wearing in the summer? It's usually your bandos and your watches and like your accessories. And some of these I picked up recently. How do I say? My addiction, my vice has been Stoplight, which is this really cool brand. Most people honestly, like especially, you know, from the US, from like Europe, like they have no idea what Stoplight is. But like older people in Japan know what Stoplight is. Usually, for example, like my friend who's like the owner of Roar Guns, he will know what Stoplight is. Or like if you ask someone like Isamu Katayama-san, he will know what Stoplight is. But like, anyone in like their 20s, even 30s, they probably don't know because it's super niche. It doesn't have Instagram account. He is a friend of Goro's, but it's not inherited. He's not going to inherit his thing to his kids, and he's in his 70s. He handmade everything himself. He have no assistants. He has no web store. There's no drops or opening or anything like Goro's, and not to mention Chrome Hearts, or not to mention any commercialized anything. There's no social, no nothing, no web store, and he just makes like all these stuff for silver from himself. This is a bando that I really love, and I have more stuff coming in, but this is another one. Like his signature is like the Cyclops stuff. But obviously we have also like small like accessories from him, like wallets. I even have like a pair of glasses, and like the boots that I have also from him from 2009. I think 1 of 3 pair or 1 of 1. I forgot. And obviously more bandos also from Stoplight. This the Iron Cross, like the independent bando, and he have like a lot of like very interesting stuff. A lot of his works are like very controversial, and I don't support the controversial part at all. I just like certain things and certain symbols that he make. I don't agree with it, and I don't buy. So don't get the wrong idea. I just buy what I like. And then there's other stuff that I use on the daily, like this one from Alice Owa. It's usually like women's wear, but this one, I don't know, like at first when I saw it, I didn't feel like it's so special or anything, but I think like it really grew on me. And then the other one that I got recently, I actually bought it off from like a friend because he's trying to sell it to like a vintage store in Japan, but I was like, might as well just sell it to me, is the spiked bracelet from Chrome Hearts. I'm not a big fan of Chrome Hearts, by the way, don't get me wrong. I think Chrome Hearts is very overpriced. But when I saw this, I was just like, wow, like this is really meant for me, you know, like, oh, it's so me. It writes Polo on it, really. Like, look closer. It writes Polo on it. It doesn't. I think it's from like 2016. They did like a punk collection kind of, and yeah, it's really cool. The only thing about it that kind of like pisses me off when it comes to this is like a bit annoying is that every time you wear a jacket, it's difficult to put this through your jacket sleeves, especially when your jacket is tight. Like my leather jackets and stuff like this just doesn't fit, you know. And speaking of stoplight, here's another one. It's very cute. Ta-da! Yeah, like more. I don't have like a stoplight necklace. I'm not a big necklace guy, so I just put it on a old leather bracelet that I have that is from Emma Cross. It's very subtle, just a small Emma Cross sign. So that's kind of like the thing. And obviously for summer, there's like more accessories for like people like me who like to wear a beanie 300 days out of a year because it's convenient. I also made some beanies from Troubled Waters, and these are called the spider knit beanies. I can wear both a size medium or a size large. I wear a size large just because sometimes like it's so big it will fall down and cover my eyes. I feels like more incognito when I move around Tokyo when I wear like a really big hat. So this is like a size large. They kind of like continuing like our spider knit hoodie, which did super well, very well received. There's like a spider knit beanie. So it's really nice, and the best thing about it is that I finally made a beanie that will work for summer, because a lot of them beanies like from wool and everything is like way too thick, you know, not breathable. And I just knew that, you know, like the best thing about Troubled Waters is that a lot of the times I'm just making stuff for myself. You know, like this t-shirt, the previous t-shirt, it's just stuff that I knew that I would need for summer. I need like those variations. And we have like more, I have like 2 more t-shirts come in that I cannot show you guys just yet. I don't want to ruin the party, but like they're all super nice. And then I really like kind of like pour my heart into it. I feel like really Troubled Waters, I think at least starting from ACD 4 and stuff, that's when I really full throttle, like kick it in, you know. We're doing like a lot of stuff, and the next collection is ACD 9 and it will come out for like the summer. It's like a summer collection. And I think it will honestly be great. I'll try these on for y'all. But this is kind of like how it looks. Pretty nice, yeah? Like easy to wear, like really. Like again, size large is a bit big. You can barely see my eyebrows anymore. This is a look for me, you know. It's easy to wear. You can like even wear more down sometimes, you know. Like this is also like a vibe. But usually I would recommend like a size medium. Yeah. So we went through all the accessories and all like the t-shirts, and I don't have much of other stuff in my office right now because I didn't really thought about like filming a video. I just filmed it because I had some time and I felt like, you know, people be talking about t-shirts all the time and I just want to share like my opinion on it. So I want to talk about like 2 pairs of boots that I picked up like not so recently, but I've been wearing a lot recently. So first thing first, it's these boots from 14th Edition. They're pretty nice. It's hard to describe like what's on it, like because there's like just a lot of stuff going on. But first of all, it's like a really pointy pair of boots. It's really slim in the front, like I can barely fit in, but they're actually quite comfortable to walk in. They're quite convenient. They look like there's like straps, and then like there's like, you know, shoelaces that can go around. But on the side, on the inner side, there's like a zipper. So it's hella convenient actually, you know, like you can actually just one zip, put it in, and then you're good to go. And obviously like on the back you have like the 14th Edition like metal plates, and then on the buttonholes you have these that looks like the screws for like the screwdrivers. Is that how you say it in English? One of the boots that I wear a lot recently. And then the second pair is like the one that I really be wearing like on a daily, and then I have them fixed one time, but like they still fell apart. I probably got them fixed again. These are like the 2006 Autumn Winter Noir, if I'm not mistaken, but these are some heavy studded military boots modeled after a military boot. As again, you can see like the similar elements, like a lot of like bondages, straps and stuff, and these are actually takes a minute to put on. I can't defend it, but yeah, like a really nice stuff. Have 2 air holes, you know, like for your feet to breathe. That's also very important. And then I wore these to Paris. I think I think it's this one that I have like it's so fixed, because number 9 boots always fell apart. I have another pair from 2007 that I've been wearing since like 2019, and then they've been falling apart crazy too. On the back too, like it's a bit broken, but to be honest, I barely mind. I kind of like how it look as they are. And you know how like Japanese people are really good at fixing shoes in general. They basically can get all of like the stuff fixed, as long as when it fell apart you just bring the parts back, and then it's usually good. I guess before I end the video also, because you know, like I actually asked Tom if you want to just get on, you know, this video together. He was like, yeah, but I guess I didn't wait for it. Like I texted him like this morning, and then I just wanted to film like a video because I have time, because you know, like starting from next week, like I fly around so much, you know, like sometimes I go between Tokyo and Shanghai twice in a week. Sometimes I come back to Tokyo just for 24 hours. Like, no joke. I'm actually doing that next week again, you know, like back and forth, like really. But that's kind of like how life has been. And I wanted to invite Tom also on this because like, I feel like it's more interesting to discuss about style rather than just talk about clothes. Because I feel like I've been talking about clothes and talking about like shopping around quite a lot. But like, what about the rest, you know? What about like your opinions on style? I think that's also hella important now. So I just remember like I got my haircut like 2 days ago. I had on a train. Some young guys like they recognize me and they're like, yeah, you know, owner of Troubled Waters or the founder of Troubled Waters. And I was like, yeah. And like we just be talking about style because like we hopping off at the same station. And then like, you know, I tell them about like some of the stores that I usually hit when I'm in the area. And then we're just talking about style. And I was telling them how I feel like throughout COVID until like 2025, there has been like a trend that started with I think the row and all like that quiet luxury type thing, and where people try to dress themselves like a cosplay to be as mature of a version of themselves. Because I also be like knowing people that be dressing up in quote unquote like elegant and stuff, and then like you pull out like their headphones and like they be listening to like Young Thug and Drake and you know like all those like mainstream hip-hop artists. Their mind is so different from how they dress, you know, and that's so often people would like to dress elegant like gentlemen, and then they will smoke like a cigarette on the street where they're not supposed to smoke cigarette, and they wouldn't put the cigarette down when the kids are passing by, you know, because like it became a trend, it became like a thing, you know, like kind of like a cosplay. But then I feel like this year with all that new 2026 is the new 2016 type of thing going on in the internet, it's a completely like different atmosphere in my opinion. It's so different. I feel like people are dressing like more authentic. So I feel like what's important is like you dress how you speak. It's not like you wrap yourself up as like you're something else. You dress how it is in your mind, and then like that will be authentic, that will be your style, and that will be sustainable, and you wouldn't be like following things around and let people tell you what you do. You tell yourself like what you're into. And I think like that's very cool. And I think personally, I think that is why like so many people, they still glaze like the Japanese style, because the Japanese style is consistent. People dress like more so consistent in a sense. It's more about like their roots and like or like a stage that they're going through. Not saying that people have to be in like the same stage forever, but it's about what they're thinking recently to reflect on how they are dressing. And I think that's like a important trait. It cannot be a cosplay. You have to live that life type of thing, you know. And that's why people like Rick Owens, they'll be so, you know, it's not like Rick Owens maintained the same style the whole time. Like his style changed a lot. Just look at like the different things that he put out, you know, the past to now, you know, like he was making the Rick Owens dunks, and now he's making like Kiss Hills, and now he's making like more crazy shit. It's not about that. It's about like his core towards a lot of things like haven't really changed, or it changed, but he followed it, you know. He didn't go against it because the other style is popular. That's something that I think everyone actually respects a lot, but not just me, but I think everyone respects a lot, but like not a lot of people realize what they are respecting. It's not exactly just the style and what he makes, but it's because as he reflect what he is thinking, and you believe in his taste in every single way, not just about the stuff that he's creating and the stuff he's selling in the store. That's kind of like my recent take on style, because a lot of, you know, I just be meeting like a lot of people and like we just talk about like some random shit sometimes, and yeah, it's just like my personal feeling, because I'm seeing like so many brands out here that like just turns into like a minimal brand all of a sudden. And I was like, what? You weren't about this, you know, like the other day. And I'm not going to like say the names, but like a lot of brands, they just got them like look the same right now. Really, I think they find like the same people to do like a branding. And I really respect like the people that does it first, but like the people that does it afterwards, I think is like super cringe. I think that's like, wow, it's so expected. It's expected thin. Like, where's the originality? And originality, I'm not talking about design. I'm talking about the idea. Like, we're not design. We're, you know, we didn't go to design school. Like, what do I know about making a dress? Nothing. It's about making a brand and like telling a story. Are you telling a new story? You can have like same old designs and you tell like a new story. That's also a thing. You can have like same old designs and you tell like the new story. But some people like just tell like stories that have been told like a million times before. And that's just kind of like not my type of thing to do. And yeah, well, it has been like, my phone says 20 minutes, which means that I've been talking here for like 20 minutes. And yeah, I think it's fun to film like a fast video sometimes, you know, just for fun. But at the end of the day, like I should be like spreading, you know, more like positivity and stuff. But yeah, I guess like that's it for today's video. I hope you like the t-shirts that I showed you guys very fast. And the last half of the part, maybe like I'll edit it out. Who knows? If I find myself annoying when I talk, like I'll edit it out. But that's it for like today's video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.